Welcome back to the glorious outdoors. In today's video, I want to talk about my stock photography earnings for the month of June 2022. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so I want to start off with Shutterstock. On Shutterstock, I have a portfolio of 1,424 images and 88 videos. Spoiler alert, for the month of June, I've made 0 video sales, so we won't even get into that. I have a total of 93 downloads on Shutterstock for the month of June, and out of all of that, I have about 5 highlights. The first one being an on-demand sale that I took of me holding a cell phone showing different social media app icons. That one sold for $3.57. The second one is also an on-demand sale and very similar to the last, and it's me holding the cell phone, similar to the last photo, but this time displaying all the different types of apps that Google owns. So like YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Maps, and similar products. My third highlight was one that I sold last month for, I think, it was like $24. I'll put the exact price up now. It was of this 4-opter, and if you've watched my last video, you know what a 4-opter is. But this one sold, it was an on-demand sale, and it sold for $2.94. So that image continues to pay off for me. It took a long time to make, so I'm happy it's selling a lot. The fourth highlight I have for Shutterstock is an image that I took at the start of the pandemic. It was me at my house wearing a teal mask, doing, like a sad, depressed state of being. The pandemic caused a lot of people to be sad and depressed, being trapped at home and whatnot. So that's an image that continues to sell on Shutterstock, along with a lot of images I did in that series. And that one sold for $2.75. My final highlight for Shutterstock for the month of June is, this one demonstrates why you just never know what will sell in stock photography and how much it will sell for. So you just got to take pictures of whatever you can. So it was just a snapshot of a bunch of rulers on a table. I believe I took it with my phone, maybe, it doesn't matter. But yeah, just rulers. And it sold for $14.10. So you just never know. And that's kind of the beauty of stock photography, in that you get these wonderful surprises at times. So yeah, 93 sales, and I had 5 highlights, and those were the highlights. The lowlights for Shutterstock continues to be, the subscription sales, the 10 cents. And those made up the bulk of my total for the month of June 2022. In my last stock photography earnings video, I said that I would try and upload a lot more videos, and that is indeed my plan, is to upload more videos. And in June, I was able to upload 8 videos to Shutterstock, so that's better than I've done in, I don't know, 8 or so months. All right, so that brings us to the total for the month of June for Shutterstock. So in total for the month of June, I made $69.67. That's a lot better than last month's total. So I'm pleased with that. Not my best month, and certainly not my worst month. All right, let's move on to the next. So let's talk about Adobe Stock. On Adobe Stock, I have 1,235 images and 50 or so videos. For the month of June, I sold a total of 111 images. I have 5 highlights that I want to talk about for Adobe Stock. The first one being this image of me holding my son when he was born in the hospital. This one sold for $2.97. This one's a continued seller along with other images in this series. I'll put some up now. Yeah, so it's just good to see those continue to sell. The second one being a photo that I showed in my last earnings video, and this was of me writing out a check, or at least showing me writing out a check. And this one sold for $1.24. It was a custom sale. Third highlight is a top selling photo for the month of June on Adobe Stock, and that's of my wife in the hospital bed with my daughter after she, a day or so old. That one had a total of 11 sales and made $8.05. My runner-up top seller is another depression type photo. I tend to do a lot of these images because these are things that affect people on an everyday basis. So it's a subject that's always being talked about. Anyway, so it's this photo of me, like, holding my head in a depressive state. That one sold a total of 9 times and made $6.99. My final highlight for Adobe Stock is this, I'll call it a nice to see sale. It's this composite image that I did in Photoshop. I took an American flag and I composited a $20 bill. So they kind of merge into one. I'll put it up on the screen now. That one didn't sell for a lot. It was 66 cents. It was a subscription sale, but it's nice to see. There weren't really any lowlights for Adobe Stock. Their subscription sale ranges from 36 to 66 cents, so I'm fine with that. So that brings us to the total for June 2022 for Adobe Stock. So in total, I made $85.99, and that's all images. All right, let's move on to the agency that continues to surprise me month after month, and that's EyeEm. On EyeEm, I have a little over 1,400 images, 1,400 photos on the market, and 996 images on the partner collection. For the month of June, I had 56 downloads, and I have 7 highlights that I want to go over. The first one being an image that sold on Shutterstock last month for the first time. It's me playing a guitar. I watched my last video explaining that image. But anyways, that one sold for $9.53, and that was sold on Getty Images through EyeEm's partner collection. The next highlight is also an image that sold on Getty Images through EyeEm's partner collection, and that's me sitting at the computer with some software code on the screen, and I'm like pointing towards it. That one sold for $4.42. The next 3 highlights were sold directly on EyeEm Marketplace. The first one is my wife and my daughter sitting at the music keyboard, just laughing and having fun together. And that one sold for $4.42. And the next one of the 3 is just a casual portrait of my son when he was a little bit younger than he is now. He's just looking at the camera, laughing and smiling, and that one sold for $4.08. And the third one that sold on EyeEm's Marketplace is another one of me sitting at the computer screen with computer code in front of me, and that one sold for $10.50. All right, so let's get to the next 2. The next 2 are fairly big sales that were sold through the partner collection. The first one is like it is a self-portrait that I took of me and my son when we were on a nature trail. I just held a camera. It was a 35mm lens, so it was, wide enough to capture both of us. I just held it out and took the picture, and we were both laughing. I'm like looking back at him. And yeah, that one sold on Getty Images via the partner collection for $26.25. Very pleased with that. And the last one is one of my daughter and son. My daughter wanted to, when my son was younger, my daughter wanted to feed him the formula from the bottle. So we kind of put her on the couch and put my son in her arms. Of course, we were there watching, so he didn't fall or anything. And yeah, I snapped off a photo, and that one sold on EyeEm via the partner collection for $35.95. Very pleased. So yeah, EyeEm continues to surprise me month after month. Although there were a lot of lowlights this month on EyeEm. There are a lot of 1-cent sales. I'm not happy about that, but I understand why it happens. It doesn't make it hurt any less, but I'll put up some of those photos now. Yeah, and those were sold via the partner collection. So I'm guessing they sold for a very minuscule amount on the partner collection. And after EyeEm took their share, they can't pay us nothing. So I'm guessing they had to pay us the minimum, which is 1 cent. So that brings us to the total for the month of June 2022 for EyeEm. And in total, I earned $117.61. So yeah, I will certainly continue to upload images on EyeEm. I think there's a few microstock contributors out there considering whether or not EyeEm is worth it, and I definitely think it is. If you stick with it and upload the right content, you can certainly earn some money from EyeEm. Well, all right, let's move on to the agency that I earn the most from every month and the one that won't be around for much longer, and that's 2020. On 2020, I have over 6,000 images, 6,121 to be exact, and that's spread across 2 different profiles. For the month of June, I made a total of 626 downloads. 24 or 25 of those were new sales for that month. I'll put those up on the screen now. Of those 24, there's 5 that I want to talk about before we get to the totals for the month. The first one is a colorful pop-it, I think they call it. So it's this colorful little thing made up of bubbles that you can pop, and the kids like to play with it. It's like the new fidget spinner. Yeah, so my kid had that laying around the place, and I thought it was very colorful and would make a nice stock photo. And it's kind of trendy, so yeah, I took a photo and put it up, and lo and behold, it sold. The next one is of solar panels that I took on a house that I was driving by. Whenever I can, I take images of solar panels and anything to do with sustainable energy. That's the way of the future, and that's a topic that will always be in conversation for quite some time to come. But yeah, I'll put that image up now, and the sun is a composite. The sun wasn't there. I put that in Photoshop, and I'm pleased to see that it did sell. Actually, a few in that series sold. I'll put those up now. The next image is one that demonstrates that while certain areas of the stock market is indeed saturated, it doesn't hurt to put up a few images in those areas every now and again. And this image is just me holding the remote pointing to the TV. I'm sure that's been done a million times, but it still sold. So snap a picture of whatever you can, whenever you can. Speaking of saturation, the next image is one that I did because I knew this area wasn't saturated in the stock photography market, and that's of men doing household work such as, you know, chores like washing dishes, vacuuming, you know, sweeping, all the stuff that unfortunately men don't always get portrayed doing. So I took a photo of myself washing dishes, and that one sold. The last image is one that was very fun to create, and it's this image of me sitting on the couch. I have a remote in my hand and a cell phone in the other hand. My son is next to me watching TV, and I'm trying to, you know, change the streaming channel or whatever, and my daughter is like climbing over me. That was a fun one to make, and that one sold, along with a few in that series. I'll put those up as well. And unfortunately, that brings us to the lowlights of 2020. And the biggest lowlight of all, I mean, it can't get any worse than this, is the fact that 2020 is shutting down. So at the end of the month, at the end of July, they will be no more. For a select few contributors, they do get to migrate their content over to Envato. Fortunately, I am one of those, and hopefully that transition will be an easy one, and hopefully I continue to earn on Envato. Yeah, I am sad to see 2020 go. It is very community based, and I've met a lot of people. I mean, I haven't met them in person, but we've interacted quite a bit on the platform, and yeah, I'm sad to see them go. I'm not sure what they will do or if they're moving over to Envato. Time will tell. So the total amount that I made for June 2022 on 2020 is $248.45. In terms of what I usually make on 2020, that's fairly low, but they are in their closing days. All right, so before we get into my total for the month of June 2022, I just want to say, if you guys are getting anything from this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot. All right, so let's get to the total for June 2022. In total for the month of June, I earned $521.72. That's a few dollars more than I did last month, so I am pleased with that result. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for my stock photography earnings for the month of June 2022. Remember, if you get anything from these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and ring the bell so you don't miss a video. All right, while I'm out in nature, I'm gonna try to get some awesome B-roll. All right, until next time, I have a lot more coming, so see you then.